Hi friends, this is Denario Research and welcome to the part number 8 of cryptocurrency arbitrage tutorial. In this video series, I will show you how to build your own cryptocurrency arbitrage bot. In this video, we will continue implementation of position manager, the element of event loop that is responsible for proper position sizing. Let me quickly remind you that in previous video we have almost completed implementation of the first position sizing criteria, and today we'll work on the second and probably on the third. The second position sizing criteria states that position size should be greater or equal to minimal position size required by exchange. You already know that both exchanges Poloniex and Bitfinex have their own requirements to minimal order size, which we should take into account certainly. So our position size cannot be less than minimal required. But Bitfinex has much higher requirements to minimal position size than Poloniex, so we can skip Poloniex part. Our bot will simply request minimal order size from Bitfinex and apply these requirements to both exchanges Poloniex and Bitfinex. In order to get minimal position size requirements on Bitfinex, we need to run API symbol details request. It will provide us detailed information on every pair that is tradable on Bitfinex. On the right hand side you can see example of the output. It is an array of objects, and every object contains pair name, price precision. This is a very important part which will be covered in details when we'll work on the third criteria. Some other parameters, and the thing we are looking for is minimum order size. So basically we need to create a function that will loop through this array of objects. We'll find pairs we trade, and we'll take minimum order size values, and we'll put everything together into some object. Today we'll have two tasks in Trello. The first, which was already discussed, requests minimal order sizes from Bitfinex, and the second, initialize balances in app.js. This task will allow us to complete the first position sizing criteria. Let's open bfxtrade.js and begin creating this function. So let's create function get min order size, and this would be function with one parameter callback. Now we should call rest symbol details. Rest symbol details and it will return two parameters, error and data. And traditionally we will implement this callback function in the following manner. If we have some error, we will console log error to string, and else, in case we don't have any errors, we'll process data. Let's create some empty object result which this function will return. So res equals to empty object. Oh, sorry, I need to fix symbols details. Okay. The next step is the following. We have to loop through pairs we plan to arbitrage. So we'll loop through this array, and then we'll loop through data and find which objects from data array match our pairs. So for pair of self pairs, which means we need to create variable self, or self equals to this. So for pair of pairs, and for element of data we have created inner loop. Okay, now we should match pair names with elements from this data array. So if element pair equals to pair to lowercase, because pairs in pairs array are provided in uppercase, and in symbol details data pairs are provided in lowercase. So in order to proper match, then we need to apply to lowercase function. So if they match, then result pair name equals to element minimum order size. And once we finish this loop, we will return callback with result object inside. Let's look again how this function works. So we have requested symbol details data, and once we have no errors, we created empty object results. Then we looped through pair names. Then we looped through data inside this result, and then we matched pair name from pairs or array with pair names from data array. And if they matched, we took minimum order size and assigned to result object. But we need to parse float this result, because by default it is provided in string. Parse float. Yes. And finally we return result. Let's save this code and go to app.js. Here we'll create some variables which we'll call limits. This actually would be our minimal order sizes. Limits. And this would be empty object. Somewhere after exchanges initialization, probably here, we'll call get minimal order size from bitfinex. So in order to do this, we have to get bitfinex object, exchanges zeros, get min order size, and as a callback we'll have, let's call it data, and limits equals to data. So we'll use this limits object in the future when we'll trade. So actually now we have implemented second criteria, and our first task is complete. So now let's work with app.js a little bit more to implement the first criteria, actually finish its implementation. It is all about balances. So firstly, let's import balance.js. Const balance equals to require markets balance. The next thing we need to do is to initialize balances. So without initializing balances, we cannot enable any trading. So I think we can do that here. Wrap all this code with initialize balance function. Balance init update balances, actually. Update balance. So let me check function name. Update balance, yes, it's correct. And as a callback, we don't have any parameters. We will copy and paste this code. Let's format it. So once we have updated balances, we wait 60 seconds and start trading. You probably may have a question, why should we update balance at the beginning, so at bot start, but not before order placement? And the answer is latency. Every balance request adds about 1 or 2 seconds of delay, and we can simply lose arbitrage opportunity if we do so. That is why we update balance at bot start, and the next time we'll update balance will happen right after the trade. So this will save us a lot of time. But this approach has one big restriction. You should not trade manually on the same account where and while bot works. Because when it updates balance, bot assumes that balance amounts remain unchanged. But if you place order manually or move coins from the exchange, this may lead to some errors. That is why if you plan to trade manually, please shut down bot and later restart it, or have a separate account for manual trading. Well, this is all for today. We have completed both planned tasks. Now we are able to request minimal order sizes from Bitfinex, and we have initialized balances in app.js. In the next video, we'll work on the third criteria of Position Manager, and I hope we'll complete Position Manager module in the next video. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want more videos, and leave your questions in the comment section below. Bye!